the most legal chemical that we have, and that's alcohol.
Right.
And
Well, you
that
can't really blame
oven
them,
by
can you?
itself causes another set of problems. And
right.
as we know, and as you know from your background, that alcohol is a depressant. So if you're already depressed and you have 5 or 6 or 8 or 9 drinks, you get further depressed. It becomes a downward spiral.
Right. It's interesting that you say that too, because that's actually part of this article that I found so amazing. They talk about the toughest part of helping veterans. Another veteran, Harrison is his name, he says, is getting them to overcome the fear of being stigmatized and to step into the vet center in the first place.
Right.
They think they can handle the situation all by themselves.
Right.
And I know that's probably where a lot of the substance abuse starts coming in too, is not seeking help, getting it from a bottle or a pipe or a pill or whatever, legal
Right.
or not legal. I know people seek help in all kinds of situations.
Correct.
And so it says that vet centers provide help for broader issues of readjustment back to civilian life, including finding a job, alcohol and drug abuse, counseling, sexual trauma counseling, spouse and family counseling. I
Yes.
think that's important because the families are so affected by this.
Absolutely.
Mental and emotional problems that also fall short of post-traumatic stress syndrome. And it says more than 80% of the staff are veterans, just like you were saying, and 60% of the staff served in combat zones. So, yeah, there really is. There's also that bonding. And let's see, in all cases, it says the veteran has to be the one who wants to talk before the counselors can help. And that's true in any kind of help, in any kind of therapy. So Harrison says for them, this is the only chance to talk to somebody because their families don't really get it. Their families don't understand. That's the big thing. They can't talk to anybody. They feel like they can't relate to anybody.
Well, I want to give a commercial, if you will, or at least an
Go for it.
endorsement for both the
Excuse
veteran
me.
centers, which are VA, as well as the New Mexico Veteran Service Officers. If someone comes in, it's not a question of do you have your appropriate paperwork. The question, first of all, are you a veteran? Yes. Have a seat. Let's talk. It's not where were you, what unit were you with, those kinds of things.
Kind of user-friendly.
It's very user-friendly. And the VA, in fact, the veteran drop-in centers that you mentioned and you're going to crawl on later in Santa Fe and Farmington, etc., are designed to allow people just to, if you will, put a foot in or put a toe in and see how much bureaucracy do I have to deal with. And when they're so pleasantly surprised that there are people saying, both at the state level and also at the federal level, hi, welcome, how can I help? Tell me about your problem. And that just, once they get in and start to see that it's not, and I can't say this enough, this is not an adversarial relationship. It's what can we do to help you help yourself.
Yeah, that's about personal empowerment.
Yes.
So that's what this show's all about. So yeah, that's really perfect. I'm glad you brought that up. It's about people wanting to go in, seeking the help, and then doing everything they need to do to really have the outcome, a better outcome in their life.
The best thing I can say, particularly for this show, is that to any veteran is that there's help available. There are people that care about you. They want to help. But they won't chase you. They can't do that. They don't know where you are. And so if you make an effort, if you reach out your hand slightly, believe me, it's going to come back.
Yeah,
People
excellent.
will be able to offer comments and suggestions and programs and counseling and without being judgmental. You've already done your service to the country. You have served. Now, you have these other issues. Let's deal with those other issues. And it's a gentle process. It's not, you must do this by thus and so. It's very gentle process.
And supportive. It sounds really supportive
Very
as well.
supportive.
Yeah, it's just so excellent. I know that I've personally, even not being involved in the veteran world, I've personally, because of stories I've heard, and I've sort of focused a lot of my attention on what's not available to veterans, and from stories that I've heard and friends that I've had that have come back from Vietnam. So anybody who's out there that's coming back or knows somebody, family members, friends, relatives, just really give them some of these email addresses, Google them, help them to find the help that they need.
Well, you can make the call, and it's basically I have 800 numbers for you, and for both the city, for both the state of New Mexico, the regional office of the VA hospital, and their health benefits. I say that because there's also benefits to not just Vietnam vets. And I was briefly personally, worked with the Department of Veteran Services for the state of New Mexico. I don't do that anymore for all kinds of reasons, but I'm involved in other things. So what I know is that there are services available just by the state that a lot of veterans, not only from Vietnam, which is now 40 years old,
right,
but they're World War II veterans, they're Korean War veterans that aren't aware that there are some significant benefits from both the state as well as the federal government.
And it's time for this information to get out there, Chuck, because thank God we're going to be having a lot of people coming home over the next 18, 16 months.
We certainly hope so.
A lot of people are going to be coming home, and there's a lot of available help. One of the things, I know lately, since we've talked about this and set this interview, all kinds of cool stuff has come up. I know a friend of mine gave me this. It's a little bag. It's called Cell Phone. I don't know if we could see that on the camera. Maybe even backwards. Cell Phones for Soldiers. And you can get one of these bags. Let's see, there's here we go. It's www.cellphonesforsoldiers.com. You can get one of these bags. We've already sent in 4 cell phones. They don't even have to have batteries. It gives you complete instructions. All the postage is paid for. And you can get your cell phones to veterans that are over in Iraq and Afghanistan, so they could even have a little bit more communication with each other and families as well. So I think this is brilliant. Also, I found in the newspaper just yesterday in the Santa Fe New Mexican, there's an article about in Pewaukee, they have the Pueblo of Pewaukee Healing Arts Center, which gives free veteran clinic for acupuncture. So veterans can go to the Pewaukee Center and have acupuncture, which I know I love acupuncture. There's some great results with that. And there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, I just heard with the no, that's not it. The stimulus package. When you're vets, I know that a lot of times vets have to move because they're being relocated. Right. So if you have to sell your home now and you're going to lose money because the market's pretty bad right now, the federal government will actually will pay for 95% of your loss, which I thought was pretty powerful. Since these people have no choice, they have to move because of their job. If you're having a loss on your home when you sell it, you have to ask for this. Contact the federal government and they will refund you 95% of what you just lost. So there is a lot of help out there, and it's pretty exciting to be on this side of it and see all the advantages and the benefits than sitting back, yeah, it's not really fair, nothing's really fair, how come these veterans aren't getting what they really need? Ask for it, and you'll get what you need from people who can really serve you and have been there.
The veterans that work at both the state level as well as the federal level work there because they care. It's not just a job, it's not a bureaucracy. But this is a phrase that I've heard in the past, and it's actually very true. A veteran doesn't care how much that person across from them knows until they know how much they care. So it's not just going like to the, quote, motor vehicle department and standing in line and taking a number and waiting until and get somebody that doesn't care what kind of car you drive. The information, the people involved at the state level, at the New Mexico Department of Veteran Services, at the federal level, the veterans drop-in centers are extremely positive. They are there to help veterans not only from certainly Vietnam, that's my experience, but Korea, even World War II, and then now Iraq and Afghanistan, and in Iraqi freedom and enduring freedom. We're going to see more and more people, and the consciousness of the public as well as other veterans groups truly reach out to what can we do. I know that in one of the organizations I belong to, Vietnam Vets of America, one of our mottos is that never again will a veteran be alone. There is help.
That's beautiful. That's great.